Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, neighbor, heard the screaming, took action, went and did what he needed to do. The rest is unfolding before us here on CMAR. I'm going to send it back to you.
Dead giveaway.
Man, I knew when I first heard him, I said the media gonna make him into a celebrity. Wow.
And they did overnight.
He didn't have it. The next day, at least he put a hat on.
That's what you were telling me. So they did make him look better.
But that's the show. But they keep showing the original one. They gonna remind you over and over and over that first interview. And don't get me wrong, he's funny.
Oh, he is.
He is hilarious.
That's why he got 3 million hits on YouTube.
Just bam.
Charles, his name was
Charles Ramsey. Then they start telling us he got criminal background. I knew that was coming. He been in jail.
Oh, Lord.
Now the other neighbor, the Hispanic guy who doesn't speak English, is coming out saying the Hispanic dude saying he got him out. Dang. And Charles just came after they was already out.
Yeah, like a crackhead try to take charge.
Maybe that's one of them plants that you always talked about, the lawyers that plant somebody somewhere and just interface, inject that face.
Well, but when Charles was explaining, he did mention the guy.
Yeah.
Because he said, the guy, I seen him going across the street, and I was like, where you going? So he did mention the guy. But it's amazing how I used to always say, they've never made an everyday average black citizen a hero. Never. They have never done that until Monday. But the funny part about it is now look how they deconstructing it now.
Yeah, breaking them down.
It had to be, and we don't know if he a crackhead. Maybe we should jump.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Stereotyping him.
Yeah.
Ain't that why we here?
Yeah, we supposed.
I mean, maybe he don't have his teeth. They was.
I don't know how you got to be to eat ribs while you listening to salsa music.
Man,
you know
maybe they were just trying to combine the cultures.
Well, he said it had to be something going on for a white girl to jump into a black man's arm.
Man, that's when the reporter was like, "Okay, it's time to wrap this up."
Hang this up.
But that was another thing in the interview that cracked me up because there's other reporters there interviewing other people.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at how the video that went viral. How the black reporter recording somebody else turn around like, hey, can you move this cord over here for me? Like you.
Right. And even Al Sharpton said something about how getting a lot of feedback, people talking about he don't speak well. Why they put him out there? And so Al was like saying, man, y'all leave this man alone. He's a hero. He's a hero. Al Sharpton saying that. He went down the line of all the stereotypical stuff people saying about this brother. And Al broke it all down and said, man, this man's a hero no matter what he's been through and all that. So now the next day, that's when they started going with this other person being the hero.
Right.
Wait a minute, he ain't no hero. Let us talk about him.
Okay, so now let's talk about the real aspect of this case.
Yeah.
The kidnapping, man. That was crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm just putting this whole story in the unbelievable category. It's so unbelievable. I started thinking like this. Remember that movie, Nerdy, that Wag the Tail, Wag the Dog, where they made a rapist a hero in the story. Remember he was in jail and they got him out of jail. Willie Harrison played that. Right. And then at the end he ended up killing somebody because he still had that craziness in him. But he went through the whole movie becoming a hero.
That sounds like Sling Blade also. You know how even though he was mentally retarded, he went through the whole movie. He was in the asylum for killing his parents, for killing his mother, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then at the end he comes back and he saves his new family by killing the other guy. And
I want some French fries.
Well, this what's funny is like if you watch some old cold case, the documentary one, not the show.
Oh, right.
This happens a lot, man. There was a dude in Buffalo. He had kidnapped some girls and he had them in the basement. They couldn't even come out, man. Nobody even knew. And he brought this one girl out until he got a sister. It seemed like every time someone getting saved, a black person doing it. Remember up in Sacramento, Dugard? It was that black security guard on a junior college campus that looked at him and go, this ain't right, this girl with him. Up Dugard, J.C. Dugard. But, man, this has been going on. But what's crazy is how all of a sudden the media come out the woodworks. They couldn't get out of there. They just wouldn't leave. And then they said they didn't have no clues. I heard Chris Matthews say this. This was supposed to be a clue to Chris Matthews.
Okay.
didn't the people see when he was in the grocery store buying a bunch of groceries?
Oh, get out of here.
Really?
Come on, Chris Smart.
Because he buying a bunch of groceries. They was like, didn't they see him bringing a big bag of McDonald's in the house? That's supposed to be
crazy.
a clue.
Dang.
That's how they talking.
Well, here's your clue. His own son, the one that they arrested, his son was like in school or whatever in 2004. And he wrote an essay about these girls being missing and the effect it had on the community. His child.
But maybe because his sister was her best friend. So it probably affected him. It probably really did affect him.
But he didn't know
But I
that
don't think
they in his daddy house.
I don't think they knew, man. Now, a lot of people not thinking that, so you might not think that because a lot of people are saying his brothers didn't know that. I mean, this man probably, like if I have a house and I don't want nobody to come in, you know,
you can make it like
kinda
that.
Keep things out.
You know how family is so scattered nowadays. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, family was all together. But now it's like, hey, man, I'll meet you at the park. Yeah. Or let's go at the club.
That's true.
People want
their privacy
because you ain't thinking nobody gonna be doing nothing that crazy.
That's true.
That is off the chain crazy. Hey, there's another thing that hit me the other day. They're finally filing charges against the man. What's his name?
Ariel, yeah.
Which is funny to me that he got a girl's name after he kidnapped 3 girls. But anyway, they filed charges against him for kidnapping, and they charging him with 3 counts of rape. But one of the women. I think the DeJesus woman said that he impregnated her 5 times.
That was the McKnight girl.
Oh, McKnight.
Oh, okay.
And then beat her, starved her to make sure she lose the baby. This man was crazy.
At the very least, shouldn't he have 6 counts for the child that's there and those 5
They thought there was going to be some murder charges too.
It's no murder charges
for the babies, the feces.
Right,
they were trying to see
right.
if any of the babies was born. So they probably got all the information once the girls got interviewed.
Yeah.
That's what happened, yeah.
And once again, Dr. Drew was on there talking his mess. And he was like, he's not the only one. They keep putting these psychologists on there trying to explain to the public.
Yeah.
And that's where we be coming in at. Mm-hmm. Because what this does is they trying to fill in the blanks.
Right.
Because the public is out there going, how could this happen? How could it get away? And so you got the neighbors saying, we call the police. You got the police saying, did nobody call us?
Right.
And
everybody passing the buck.
Yeah. And it's like, because the neighbors don't want to look stupid. Like, man, we was living next door to this dude and didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the neighbor said, someone said it, there was a woman outside crawling butt naked in the backyard.
Right. Little girl up in the window at the attic upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different things like that.
And so how then they even showed a videotape of him being arrested. And they asked the police officer, do you wish you would arrested him that day?
Oh, yeah.
Like 5 years earlier.
The motorcycle, when the police asking for his license, yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
And he said, no, he's kind of glad he didn't arrest him because if he would have arrested him, the baby and the girls probably would have starved to death because no one went in the house.
Oh, so he's a hero.
So he trying to pass the buck also. Everybody's doing
Everybody's passing.
Everybody's embarrassed. This is an embarrassment for the whole community.
Yeah, because it was right in front of their faces. He knew the daddy of the girl, Gina.
Yeah. They grew up together.
Yeah,
it was a daddy. He's like, he was at the vigils.
Man.
For the girls. He would go to the vigils.
That's horrible. Boy, if that don't set you up for an insane defense.
Man, no, it was another dude who did this too.
Okay.
Because I see it on Cold Case. So he was a runner, right? And one of the girls was runners and they came up missing. Years went by. They talked to him. The police talked to him. This happened in Canada, right? So they talked to him and they just let him go because they couldn't have nothing on him or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So they had her DNA. They never checked him. But something happened to where they figured, let's check this dude because they kept seeing him at the pictures of the
events,
the visuals. You know how every year the reunions and every year.
Yeah.
So they found out where he was at like 10 years later, and they said, "Man, let's go get his DNA." Right. So they go and get his DNA. They wait till he put his cigarette down. You know how they get DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it comes back. The DNA matched the semen that was left in the little girl. So they catch him. They tell him, "Look, man, we caught your semen. Whatever." So this dude, while he being interviewed, right? He gonna sit there and go, no, I wasn't me. Then they tell him, we got your DNA. Then he starts saying, well, here's what happened. I was running, right? And I have foreskin. I wasn't circumcised.
Oh,
right?
no.
Right. Listen to this.
What the?
This is on Cold Case, man. Go if you watch Cold
Yeah,
Case,
I
man,
do.
you'll see some crazy stories,
do.
man. So he running. So he said he was running and he seen the dead body. So he stood over the dead body and masturbated over the dead body.
I heard that one.
You
yeah.
seen that
Yeah,
one?
I seen that one. Right.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Was he doing research for a role?
Hello.
That is some wild and crazy stuff.
But what got me the most though is the prosecutor. Now here it is where black people come in. And I'm gonna get to 2 points. Okay, one is the prosecutor, right? Now, the prosecutor who is Hispanic himself,
Yes, he is.
right? He going on about, the charges they want to file, giving us background on the case, and then all of a sudden he come out and say, this is no reflection on Puerto Ricans.
Sure did. I was trying to. Yeah.
Now, they have you ever heard a black person who up for a crime and they go, not all black people this way?
Right.
Do they ever do that?
Never. I've never heard it
That
done.
was off
And that's
the
that
chain.
balance.
Yeah.
They started showing his family. They started showing how his family disowned him. Almost like that one case that we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago when the family's like, we have nothing to do. Whatever. I can't even think of that case we was talking about. But
the Boston.
yeah, the Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Remember they started humanizing
Right.
them.
And they
Yeah.
doing that for Puerto Ricans too now.
Yeah, they showing it, giving you a balance.
Wow.
But the worst part of this whole story is this, where we come in terms of the media. And this go beyond if this was sweeps week. This goes beyond if this was you done it to stereotyping and everything.
Right.
And this is the whole point of us why we talk about stuff so y'all can understand. Just 3 years ago in Cleveland,
Oh, yeah.
11 black women was found murdered by a serial killer. 11 black women.
11.
11 in the house.
In the house.
Right? We never heard any. Was that a level 5
No.
story?
Nope.
I don't think it
never
was even a
heard
level
it.
3 story because I don't know.
It
about
was an internet story, so level 2 basically.
Okay.
But even in Cleveland, right?
Same place.
The neighbor said we smell something, and that brought me back to Jeffrey Dahmer. Remember the
Oh,
neighbor
yeah.
was saying, but his victims was minorities,
Right.
So the police didn't do anything. Almost in this case too, the serial killer name was Sewell. I can't think his name was Sewell or something. He killed 11 women, had them in the house. They told the police, we smell something that don't smell right in the house. The police came, never did nothing to this man. Till finally one of his women got away. And then they finally went and checked the house, and that's when they started digging up They started
Finding
digging up bodies in the neighbor's backyard.
Like Gacy, like that
Dang.
Gacy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And we heard about Gacy. Why?
White boys.
Because his victims was white.
White boys. Yep.
These black women just gone. And they'll try to paint this picture kind of like how we talk about in Law and Order. Remember how we'll say they'll show a black rape victim, but they'll tie drugs into her. She got to be a hooker.
Yeah.
Even if she's not, they go the entire show making her that way, and then all of a sudden there's this revelation that she's not. But what you remember is an entire hour of this grad student as a prostitute, as a crackhead, as a drug dealer, as whatever.
And that's what they do on the show.
That's what, and that's bad enough because it's fiction. But when you do that and apply it to real life situations, this is not reporting the news. This ain't telling me what happened. This is picking and choosing.
Yeah.
And you can go all the way back to our very first topic. Why was they talking about Arias? Picking and choosing
Yeah.
because of her victim or whatever. Now you got black women, you talk about it, man, you said it the other week. If your niece, something happened to your niece, something happened to my nephew, something happened to me.
Them 11 black women, probably mamas, daughters,
Yep.
Everything.
aunties.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like they ain't gonna look for me a day. Not
you
one
would
day.
even-
Not till y'all don't hear my voice on this podcast.
And you would think like the black media out there at least would be saying something like, you know,
I didn't
hey.
even know we still got a black media. I think
Well, they all controlling it, but hey, they gotta be if
Yeah.
we know BET don't.
Oh, yeah.
we don't want to go into BET. That's a whole nother topic.
Black
Yeah.
embarrassment television.
Yeah, exactly. You would think the black leaders would say something, but no, they working for the media. They taking that blood money.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue.
Ooh.
It leaves you speechless.
It really does. I mean, I had different thoughts about this story, but and they actually all seem petty compared to